Good morning and afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a late edition of our morning show here. As we were dealing with a lot of news this morning, figured we might as well wait until that news was all available, and then we would come on and talk about it. And that's pretty much what we're going to talk about today: is the breaking Disneyland news. Maybe touch a little bit on the cool reveal this morning at Walt Disney World. But a lot of Disneyland news to get through. My name is Juby, by the way. I'm the co-founder here at Laughing Place. That's Kyle, our managing editor, and normally you can find us here every morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern time, talking about what's going on in the world of Disney. It's particularly exciting on a morning like this when Disneyland has just dropped a ton of news for us. So Kyle, I know we've been working on it along with our guy Luke, who is not with us today. But Kyle, why don't you start off with just the big picture of what happened this morning?
Yeah, so the gist is, for the first time ever, Disneyland has revealed dates for all of their 2024 big celebrations and events. So think like your Halloween time and holidays, DCA Food and Wine Festival, those sort of things. They've announced that entire calendar up front, with the idea being that now that you can make reservations 6 months in advance, it gives you more time to plan for when you want to visit the resort. So you have all those dates, but as part of that, there were a few surprises, at least to me. The first one, I think we'll start with, Pixar Fest is coming back. It's been a few years since I've done this, but this is going to include a new daytime parade at DCA. So that we'll dive more into these as we go on. The other big thing, see, at the same time, you have Seasons of the Force coming back to Disneyland, and that will include, we heard about, I forget which event it was. Last year, we heard that there were new Star Tours adventures, some new segments coming into the ride. Those will debut for Seasons of the Force, along with, Hyperspace Mountain and stuff. The other ones that aren't part of this, but I want to mention real quick, probably the biggest news to me, even though it's small, and that is that the Peter Pan section is coming back to Fantasmic.
That's big news.
I assume that this replaces the Pirates one, because you kind of have to. You can't really run the ship twice around. Maybe you can, but that seems like a lot of work. So I imagine that this is just replacing the Pirates. Again, Jay Lenoing it or Bob Igering it, where it replaced is what replaced it. And so that's going to be coming back when that show comes in May. So we'll go through these if you want.
I definitely want. So, but I'm glad you mentioned the huge news. Fantasmic returns on May 24th. They gave us an actual date. New special effects, a new battle scene between Sorcerer Mickey and Maleficent. It must be new because we know the dragon's not returning. But Peter Pan, iconic theme, is returning. So really excited to see what they do with this new version of Fantasmic. And I'm with you. I love the Peter Pan scene. I'm glad it's returning. All right, so we're going to go through the dates for you guys. And some of these have a little smaller announcements of additions or changes that are coming. So we'll go through all that right now. We're going to start in January, which is just a few weeks away, which is hard to believe. With Lunar New Year, an annual event now at Disney California Adventure, returning January 23rd through February 18th. They didn't say too much about that, so I think it's just the normal yummy foods and such and entertainment we've come to expect. Celebrate Gospel, February 17th and 24th. That's 2 separate days in February during Black History Month, of course. That is at the Fantasyland Theater. This year, the headliners for the first day will be Marvin Sapp, and for the second day will be Tasha Cobbs Leonard. Those names mean nothing to me, but I'm sure they mean something to a lot of people, and so very happy that this tradition continues. How would you like to take over from there?
Yeah, then March 1st through 22nd, you have the California Food and Wine Festival, and this will once again bring the return of Soarin' Over California. April 5th through June 2nd, Season of the Force. That, like I said, will when the new Star Tours will debut. Also, Hyperspace Mountain. But the really interesting one here that I didn't quite understand, but I think I get what they're saying, is that they're going to be pumping in music for the fireworks in Galaxy's Edge, but they described it as galactic music. So I don't know if it's like it sounds like it's going to be a unique soundtrack in Galaxy's Edge for watching the fireworks spectaculars.
Yeah, that's how I interpreted it too, which is a neat idea. Same show, although certainly a different angle, and the spires kind of give it a completely different feel. So why not bring in some music that actually fits the whole Galaxy's Edge theme? I love that concept. I think that's a pretty original, smart concept, and I'm anxious to see what they do with that. One smaller thing that did not make this list, but did not make the graphic that Disney put out, but that it is happening in this period, February 22nd and 23rd, is Anaheim Ducks Day. This is the anniversary of the Anaheim Ducks, and so they're holding a 2-day event in Hollywood. They've done this before, but this is the 30th.
They've done a single day event. I don't know if they've done a double. I don't remember.
Good point. So Hollywoodland at DCA, cavalcade, fan zone, appearances by current and legendary Anaheim Ducks and such. So great idea.
Something else that didn't make the graphic is they confirmed the return of Disneyland After Dark events happening on select nights between January and June, but they did not reveal the themes for this time.
Themes at all this time so far.
I imagine that with Season of the Force going on, that one of them will probably be a Star Wars night. I think the Valentine's one is also pretty popular. So I would. Siri is thinking that I'm talking to her for some reason.
One of them being in June is probably a clue as well, based on success of past experiences, that we may get another Pride night. But speculation, of course. Let's see, Pixar Fest, which has some people in the chat very excited. Mario,
so
there's one have to wear his headphones to listen to Star Wars music. See, they saw people doing that, Mario, and they said, you know what, we could do that. Go ahead, Kyle.
So there's a couple of main things. Obviously, they'll have all sorts of specialty food and merchandise and all that stuff, and new characters coming to the parks. But the big one is that there's going to be a new daytime parade at California Adventure called Better Together. And that looks like it'll be fun. They've shown a couple of concept arts. One of them has Turning Red. It has Panda May, and it looks like her friends are on the float with her, along with Four Town is what they're called. So yeah, that's the Luxo lamp that's kind of like, looks like it'll probably be like leading the way, and then there's the Four Town float from Turning Red. And then so this will be at DCA, and then over at Disneyland, they'll have the return of the fireworks there, the Pixar fireworks. That has a very similar name, but I can't think of what it is right now. And that will be updated because obviously it's been a few years since they've done Pixar Fest. More Pixar movies have come out since then, so they'll be updating that with new segments. So that's Pixar Fest, and yeah, well, like I said, they kind of released
back yet.
They released dates and details for like some small details for these things, but I'm sure we'll get more details as these things get closer. They just want people to be able to plan their visits ahead of time. Yes, I think you're back now.
Freaking ridiculous.
Well, sort of. Oh, now he's completely gone. So I'll just keep talking about Red Panda May here. But yeah, if you look at the concept art, those aren't just dancers. It looks like there's actually supposed to be May's friends, whose names I obviously can't remember at the moment. And now it's just me. So this is great. But we'll keep going through these in just a second as soon as Doobie gets back. I can look at the comments. It'd be funny if you had the headphones, if they had the Peter Quill headphones. They should work on that. You can rent them kind of like airplane headphones back in the day. They add more nights to Star Wars nights, like the Disneyland After Dark, I believe you're asking about. We don't have the themes or the dates for those specifically. They just said that Disneyland After Dark events will be happening during the first half of the year, so we'll keep an eye on that. Hi, Doobie.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna go crazy someday. Someday I come back with the screen and I'm just gonna be dead from frustration.
I think I finished up Pixar night or Pixar Fest.
Together Forever, a Pixar nighttime.
Thank you. And I remember I've seen that show once. I thought it was very corny, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Like "To Friendship and Beyond" was a quote from it, and
that's bad.
It was rough.
They did say, I don't know if you mentioned this, but there would be news. It's returning fireworks show, but there will be new scenes added.
Yes.
10 characters. Ember, Wade, they're all coming for Pixar Fest. All right, so Halloween time.
Including the return of Oogie Boogie Bash. Again, we don't have dates for the party specifically, but they said yes, Oogie Boogie. I don't know why, if anyone thought that it wouldn't be back after, selling out for the past 2 years in a row instantly. But yes, Halloween time is coming back, and that includes the return of Plaza de Familia, the Coco celebration over at DCA, which is part of Halloween time, but actually extends it by a couple of days because Dia de los Muertos is a little bit later. So it makes sense to keep that around past Halloween itself.
And then come November 15th, it's the holiday season, which is exactly where we are right now. And we'll get another one of these for 2025, I hope.
And I believe that Halloween time is the early, I think that August 23rd is the earliest it's ever started, which just follows trend.
Yep, Halloween starts in August. They can extend it the other way, so they bring it forward as much as they can. Couple other
overall,
things.
so what's interesting here is over 300 days out of 365 days of next year, we'll have some sort of special event happening at Disneyland.
All at Epcot, Disneyland Resort.
Yes, thank you.
And a couple other major things coming next year that should be mentioned. The Pixar Place Hotel, former Paradise Pier Hotel, will be officially named the Pixar Place Hotel, opening January 30th. It's open now, still under construction. If you go there now, you'll see a lot of cool Pixar stuff that's happening, but it officially opens on January 30th. And at some time in 2024, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the major attraction coming to the Disneyland Resort next year, will be coming.
Well, they also confirmed that we've known these restaurants were coming to downtown Disney, but there are 3 restaurants that are confirmed to be opening in 2024. Din Tai Fung being the big one, I think, and then a couple of the others that they Paseo, I believe, is what it's called. And that's
yes, Din Tai Fung, Chef. Oh, that's that one. Sorry, Paseo and Centrico.
Centrico, yes, not Citricos.
Not
very
Citricos,
confusing.
totally different place. Centrico, yeah, and actually you can see some of that construction going on already if you go to the Disneyland Resort. I just want to make sure I read exactly what they said for Tiana, since I know we're all anxiously awaiting a date. And all they said is, after talking about other stuff, Tiana's Bayou Adventure will be after talking about Fantasmic, which is in May, they said Tiana's Bayou Adventure debuts at Disneyland Park later in 2024. So I would interpret that as sometime after May 24th. But
fair enough.
That's my
which is kind of a given, since I think they've been sticking with late 2024 for most of the time anyway.
That's what's going on at the Disneyland Resort. Nothing hugely surprising.
Peter Pan, I think the return of Pixar Fest and the return of Season of the Force, maybe Pixar less so, but maybe even that specific naming. I think those are both surprises, and then the Peter Pan thing. I did not see those coming, but yes, of course, things like Oogie Boogie Bash and Halloween time and holidays, those are given.
I think I would also say the Galaxy's Edge firework audio.
That's true. If it means what we think it means, and I can't interpret it any other way.
That's the hidden gem here. I think that's going to be very popular. And while Galaxy's Edge doesn't lack for popularity, I don't think it's quite what it could be. And I think it's going to draw a lot of people back there at the Disneyland Resort. But yeah, most of these events are things. So Pixar Fest, you say a surprise? Did they not? What was this your first year for? Did they skip a year? Help me out here.
I feel like it's been a while. Like, I don't think it's returned since the pandemic. I feel like it was probably 2019 or whatever.
Okay, you're probably right. I don't recall. Luke is good at that. Luke, put something in the chat somewhere. Help me out.
Oh, I was shocked. So we were talking about Fantasmic. I went to go try to find a still of it somewhere that I could use. And I was like, wait, Fantasmic 2.0 debuted in 2017. It's been that long without the Peter Pan segment. How is that possible?
Which means there are a ton of Disney fans. I mean, 6 years is 6 years. There are a ton of Disney fans right now.
Here we go. Fans. Look at him being smart. 2018 was the only year they did Pixar Fest, and that was when Pixar Pier opened. Season of the Force, they've done more of, but it's also been a while.
I knew we could count on you. Look, there are tons of Disneyland Resort fans who have never seen Peter Pan, the Peter Pan segment of Fantasmic, who only know it as Jack Sparrow. So that's pretty cool.
Did you see our tweet?
I did not.
It said, do you like codfish? You do. Well, there's good news because the Peter Pan segment's returning.
But it's on already. All right. That's a Tony kind of tweet. No offense to you, Luke, if you wrote it. Anything else with the Disneyland Resort?
I wrote it, by the way. Anything else about the Disneyland Resort? No, I think that's basically... That seems like everything. You can check. Doobie, why don't you drop the link to the recap in the chat so people can check that out? That has we have individual articles for all of these things, but we also put together a recap knowing that it was a lot.
Yes, and that recap then will link to all the individual articles. So if you want to see all the stuff going on, there's a link for you in the YouTube chat. Let's do a link for you in the Facebook chat. Go read all of that. Share it with a friend because it's going to be a fun 2024 Disneyland Resort.
Just so you know, we do have Ethan in the green room whenever, if you wanted to do our normal stuff as well.
We'll get Ethan in there. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, this obviously doesn't preclude. Who knows? There's always surprises coming. Just because they didn't say X or Y doesn't mean X or Y never will happen. But this is the major events. 300 days worth of coverage of the Disneyland Resort, having stuff going on. Wow, like I said, just feels like Epcot. Yeah, so here's what we'll do now. We are going to do a little bit of our normal show. We'll make Kyle do the stock price. We'll get the weather. We'll cover something fun happening over at Walt Disney World. And then we'll just do another quick recap of Disneyland. And I think that'll be our show for today. So Kyle, let us...
It's a good thing it's not further down the list. Otherwise, y'all would have to sit through.
So I forget I can just press it again to stop. I feel like I have to press something else. So I'm just pressing until I get there.
Okay.
All right. Within 50 cents, how's the market reacting to this huge Disneyland news?
92.20. Wow.
you can reach in my pocket for $100 bill for that. That was impressive. So I feel like we might have some new viewers today. So every morning when we do this show, Kyle has to guess the stock price within some arbitrary number that I give him. And then we get a weather report from the only completely unpaid, uncompensated person on the Laughing Place team.
Here's Ethan.
Good morning and welcome to the Monday edition of the LP Disney Weather Update. I've waited hours for this. I've made myself so sick. I wish I'd stayed asleep today. I never thought this day would end. I never thought tonight could ever be this close to me. Just try to see in the dark. Just try to make it work. To feel the fear before you're here. I make the shapes come much too close. I pull my eyes out, hold my breath and wait until I shake. But if I had your faith, then I could make it safe and clean. Oh, if only I was sure that my head on the door was a dream. Let's get to the weather. Anaheim will be partly cloudy today and relatively warm, reaching a high of 76, although it will be a bit chilly this evening. Walt Disney World has already reached its high of 80 degrees and will cool from here, hitting a low of 64 by midnight. Castaway Cay is currently 85 but will also see some cooling in the coming hours. Nevertheless, they'll stay in the mid-70s. It's another rainy night in Disneyland Paris where temps are in the mid-40s and showers are on the radar for the next several hours. Tokyo will have overcast skies and temperatures in the 50s for much of the day, with showers possible in the evening and overnight. Shanghai will be sunny and make it up to 63 tomorrow. Lastly, Hong Kong will be partly cloudy and will break into the lower 70s during the day. That's all for another LP weather update. Bye for now.
That song.
It's The Cure, Close to Me.
You know, it's funny. It felt like The Cure, just even though I could not identify any lyrics. I'm like, this is The Cure, and I know this in the back of my head. But
do 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 do.
Unpaid, uncompensated in the Army. Thank you for your service, because that gratitude.
He gets free college afterwards. So.
All right. So in what otherwise may have been our top story today, Jeremiah Good was over at...
It was our top story for a good hour, and then I literally moved it down. So we talked about how this statue and the area of Dreamer's Point, this is the Walt the Dreamer statue, officially debuts tomorrow, December 5th, Walt's birthday. But they held a dedication ceremony this morning. They had, the ambassadors, the presidents of the park and things like that. Voices of Liberty sang a song. You can check out full video of that ceremony on our YouTube channel, which you're already watching, and check out more photos. Jeremiah, I think, got it from every conceivable angle.
Every conceivable angle. Oh my goodness.
Except standing. I didn't see an aerial. Like, I don't see him like standing on top of him and looking down. But other than that,
So I really feel a need. He used it for his personal purposes. I don't know why he didn't include it in the article. So I am going to show this myself. I'm guessing this shirt that I'm going to show here needs a statement, Kyle.
Okay, I'm sure that this shirt that you're about to see on Jeremiah was provided by our friends at Roosevelt. So thank you, Roosevelt's.
There you go. This is what it looks like, which I think this is a picture everyone wants. What is it going to be like to actually sit next to Walt here? And that's what it's going to be.
Man spreading.
He's I'm just now catching on that he's doing the pose.
He is.
It's pretty cool. Thanks, Jeremiah. I hope it's okay I use that picture.
Too late.
It's public on Facebook. Of course it is. Of course it is. All right. Lots going on in the world of Disney that we're not going to talk about today, especially our guys on the cruise line who've done just an incredible job covering the maritime cruise. And since they're there, just covering a lot of stuff in general that's happening on the ships. I think they're on the Fantasy. So make sure you go check out no, they're on the Dream. Sorry about that. So go check out some of that on Laughing Place if you're into Disney cruising like I am. Also wanted to make a special mention that Hong Kong Disneyland opened Frozen Land, World of Frozen, not too long ago. And our own Luke Manning was there to cover that and did just an incredible, incredible job covering everything under the sun that is there. So if you're interested in what's going on at Hong Kong.
I went there too. Nobody seemed to care about that. So
no. Go check that out because Luke's done a great job. And we have an interview with the Iron Chef on our website, which excited me.
So much fun. Yeah. Great interview on Luke's part. Chef Morimoto, very funny, very joyous.
Luke did that interview too. Do we have anyone else that works in the site?
Well, wait, I just realized that Jeremiah is back in Florida. I thought that he was still in California. So shows what I know.
And I obviously I'm joking. We have a bunch of great people that work for our site. If any of you are watching, you know how much I value you. So please, I apologize if I am being offensive. Wow, this is why. All right, so a lot of stuff on the site. Go check it out. Corporate stuff, obviously, with people trying to take over Disney. It's a fun time to be covering this company. But the big news today is Disneyland. So once again, Kyle, why don't you quickly go through the giant news this morning, including the most important stuff.
So they have basically announced all of their special events for the year, so that now that people can make reservations 6 months in advance, like theme park reservations 6 months in advance, they figured they should tell everyone what's happening for the rest of the year. So it starts off with Lunar New Year in January, heading into February. Celebrate Gospel overlaps with that a little bit with 2 days it's on the 17th and 24th. The DCA Food and Wine Festival, including the return of the Soarin' Over California, March 1st through April 22nd. Season of the Force from April 5th through June 2nd includes the debut of new Star Tours destinations. Hyperspace Mountain will be part of that. And then also the presumably debut. I don't think it's going to be exclusive to Season of the Force, where they're going to be playing galactic music in Galaxy's Edge for the fireworks. But that could be exclusive to the thing. I'd have to reread it. And then April 26th through August 4th, Pixar Fest, including a brand new daytime parade over at DCA and an updated version of the Pixar fireworks, Together Forever fireworks at Disneyland. Yes.
So for both the Star Tours change or addition and the galactic music, they'd say debuting during the event. So I would also assume it continues on beyond.
Okay, that would seem like a silly thing to take away. But so yeah, that's Pixar Fest, April 26th through August 4th. Halloween time returns, including the return of Oogie Boogie Bash. We don't have party dates yet, but that will take place sometime during August 23rd through October 31st. Also, Plaza de Familia at DCA is part of that, August 23rd through November 2nd. And then the holiday season returns. They haven't announced an end date for the holidays because that will be in 2025. And this is the 2024 calendar.
Mario, I believe, said he would not Mario, sorry. Christian would do a Disney Channel after hours night. I think that would be hugely popular. At least once that would be hugely popular.
Yeah, that would be cool.
All right. So that's the big news today. Again, all of this is on Laughing Place. 10 articles posted detailing every last bit of this.
14.
Plus 14. You told me 10.
I told you 14. I sent you the list.
All right. 14 articles posted. Wow, 14 articles. So we get to take the rest of the day off. We've met our quota. CEO can put his whip away. We also have an article on the Dreamer's Point at Magic.
It's amazing if that whip can reach us from while on offshore.
It's virtual. And I think that's it for today. We'll be back later at 4:00, me and the Disney Park Talk Live crew, to talk more about this, as well as all the other Disney theme park.
Yeah, because I just upended your
that's
your
okay.
Show doc for that too. But
see, we get perspective. We get to hear Jeremiah, Rebecca, Celestina. We see this is just putting out the news. At 4, you get analysis, as well as all the other stuff going on in the world of Disney theme parks over the past week. That's at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern time today. So please like, subscribe, ring the bell. Yeah, please give us a thumbs up today if you appreciated hearing this. And we'll be back, Kyle and I, tomorrow morning to do our normal show, unless there's more big news, and we'll do a special event again. You never know. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Eventually.